are new here, don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel. So I've been big on eating almond nuts a lot more. My face is swollen. I just wake up, okay? You keep bagging this in my face, I just wake up. So I've been big on eating these almond nuts. I eat a lot of them. So yeah, I'm gonna fry some of this. Also, I need to fry some eggs to Gabby too. Hold on just a second here. This girl needs to eat some eggs. Alright. I have to hurry up, guys, because she has tutoring. So I have to hurry up and do it for her. So the leftover dumplings from last night, that's what I'm cooking. Alright. Let me see how fast I can do it. So I take it, cut it in half, and then I cut it in two. It seems like work. But leftover fried dumplings is pretty common in a Jamaican household. Most Jamaicans, they tend to eat it, you know? Alright. I want to put this up a little bit higher so you guys can see what's going on in the pot. As well as, you know, while I'm doing it. Yeah. So it's perfectly fine. Let me see. Yeah. Alright. Happy Sunday. I know it's early. A lot of you guys may not be up. I'm frying the leftover dumpling from last night. Don't forget to double tap on the screen. Welcome, welcome to my live. Alright, let me cut this. So these are leftover dumplings. They come in a hole like this because this is how I boiled them last night. Like this. And then I'm going to cut it. Oh my goodness. I'm going to cut it and then I fry it, okay? So I cut it in like half and then I cut the half in two pieces. So I'm frying them. Don't forget to double tap on the screen, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There you go. Yeah. Frying them. Good morning to you guys. It's a Jamaican household. I'm making some Jamaican breakfast. And this is leftover fried dumpling from yesterday. Yep. Leftover fried dumpling from yesterday. Alright. I'm frying them. And I also need to make some egg whites for Gab too as well. She's brushing our teeth, guys. Alright. Here we go. Please double tap on the screen, guys, so YouTube can know that I'm on. I am a creator with YouTube. And by you double tapping on the screen, you're allowing YouTube to know that I'm here. Hello. How are you, Miguel? Good morning, lady. How are you doing? I'm making breakfast. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for double tapping on the screen for me. Thank you so much. Good morning. It's nice to have you guys. I'm making some Jamaican breakfast. Oh, you guys were talking. Hey, David. Hey, Nicole. How are you, my love? How are you? Good morning. Making some Jamaican breakfast real quick. Thank you for double tapping on the screen. By you double tapping on the screen, you let YouTube know that I start working, okay? So I thank you so much. Good morning to you, my love. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, wherever you're watching from. Whether it's Sunday evening, Sunday morning, Sunday brunch. Happy Sunday to you guys. Love you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And to just share some amazing love. Yep. I'm making some breakfast. Making some breakfast real quick. This is the Jamaican dumpling. So the Jamaicans, when they boil dumpling overnight, what they do the next day is they fry them, and then it's so delicious, guys. It's super delicious. I need to be invited to eat. Okay, Mike, you're invited. You are invited if you want some Jamaican breakfast. You are so invited, my love. If you like Jamaican food, then sure. But if you don't like Jamaican... Ooh, Gabby, you scared me, girl. This little girl just came. Did you hear that noise? Come here. Come here. Say good morning. Say good morning to my people. Come on. Say good morning. Gonna say good morning here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know why you didn't trust me.
Oh, I did trust you. I just didn't want you to throw no water in it, but girl.
No, not this. The
Okay.
paper. I didn't touch it.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you didn't touch it. Good morning, guys. Well, you got a 8-year-old who loses everything, right? So, hey, I trust her. Always losing something, and it's never her who loses it, you know? Guys, don't forget to double tap on the screen, guys. So this is the fried dumpling. This is what it looks like after you fry it. It's really, really delicious, guys. So delicious. It has a crunchy taste to it. It's super, super nice. Like, even though you're not Jamaican, if I have you tried, you will like it. So good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure having you here to hang out with us. It's gonna be a short live, but hey, if you know, you know, okay? What are you saying, Mike? You need to hook me up to a lady like you. What? This is not a hookup. This is not a hookup channel, no? Thank you so much for the likes, guys. This is not a hookup channel. What are you talking about? I'm eating some almond nuts, guys. I have been eating a lot of almond nuts, and I'm telling you, it's super, super amazing for my body. Please be respectful in the live, fellas. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, I really, 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 really appreciate that. Thank you so, so, so much. And happy Sunday wherever you're watching from. I don't know how this live go into stuff like that. People are just, I don't know, you know? I know I can't control what you guys say, but boy, there's certain things, you know? Happy Sunday. How are you? How you doing? How you doing, my love? So, I'm gonna fry some sausages too as well. And these are the beef hot dog sausages. Yeah. You like foods? Okay. All right, Mike. All right. Okay. Where are you guys watching from? Could you guys drop it in the chat where you guys watching me from? Drop it in the chat where you guys watching from. I'm from the DMV. Thank you for the likes, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm cutting up these sausages. Thank you so, so much for liking the video. Florida, Miami, yay. I'm coming your side soon, thanks. Keep watching my video. I'm coming your side very, very soon. Very, very soon. I'll be in your area. All right. All right, so I don't want them to be burnt. So you fry them just crispy and golden like this. Because you don't want to burn them up, you know? Yeah. You You don't want to burn them up. All right. So my daughter, she doesn't like the yolk in the egg. So I'm gonna have to make her some egg whites. But with the egg whites, I have to fry it. And which sometimes it's so difficult, guys. It's so difficult. This table over here is a mess, and they're all with Gabby stuff. It is crazy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what I do, I crack the top of the egg, in which, like, I don't know how to, you know how some people like break the egg in half and separate the yolk differently? I don't know how to do that, and I'm not even trying. I really don't know how to do that. I've seen it, but hey, I think if I do it, I'm just going to break everything in the pot. So I don't even bother to try. For real, for real. I just don't bother. I just do it my way, how I learned to do it. And that's what I do. What you cooking today? So I made some dumplings last night. If you guys were watching my live last night, I made some dumplings and we didn't eat them all off. But guys, the food I cooked last night, it was done in like 2 minutes. The only thing is left is like the rice and the mackerel. But the fish, the snappers that I did, they're all gone. They are devoured in like 5 seconds. And honestly, they weren't done to my perfection because I used the olive oil the olive oil I'm putting in the sausage in the pot. The olive oil I use is not for frying. So I bought the wrong one at BJ's. And so for that, the fish was done in a way that I didn't like. But the food was gone in a second, bro. That my husband was asking me if there's any leftover for tomorrow. And I'm like, nope. There is nothing left. He's like, you have nothing to take to lunch for lunch? Nope. It was all gone. So even though it wasn't my best, I guess they really enjoyed it. So that's all that matters. So what I'm doing with this egg, I'm going to add some dash to it. Normally I add oregano. Oh, oregano is right here. So I'm going to add some oregano too. Guys, oregano is very good for you. It's very, 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 very good. I'm going to have to get a pot to fry this in. But let me turn these first. Ooh. And these are some hot dog sausages. I cut it in small bites and I'm frying it up. And they're going to eat it with this. Hi, Raw. How are you, Raw from Courage? Thank you. Good morning. Hi, Paper Bag. I think I answered your question, Paper Bag, without seeing that. It was something somebody knew. But good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to my live. If you're new here, don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel. I am your girl, Rhea. I am road to 12K subscribers. So please, by the end of this video, please take me to 12K, please and thank you. I appreciate you. You know what? I can't find these little frying pans. This is crazy. Guys, I'm going to have to get some pots. I'm going to have to get some pots, guys. Because I don't know where this pot is. Oh, it's inside the sink. I guess somebody used it and just leave it, you know? Yes, guys. Oh, let me take this out before they burned up. You finished? Yeah. Benito? Say good morning to my peeps. Say good morning to them. Hold on.
Good morning, guys. I want to help.
Good morning, guys. Simone, how are you? Good morning. How are you doing? So I'm trying to hurry up because Gabby has tutoring. Oh, so she gotta help fry. She gotta help do the eggs. So that's make it better for me. She has tutoring, and at 10 o'clock because we weren't here yesterday, so it had to be pushed off till today.
Yeah.
And Gabby's doing so well, guys. I'm telling you, don't give up on your little ones, okay? Just don't. Because I said with repetition every day, it may not be a progress that you be like, oh my God, but small progress. You ever know, like an athlete, they train every day and they develop muscles? That's the same thing with our little ones. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing. Wait, Gabby, wait. I gotta put oil in the pot, girl.
Oh.
What kind of chef is this, bro?
A learning chef?
I fell asleep on your live last night. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's late your time. You know I was not gonna cook, right? But I didn't want to eat out yesterday because I eat out all day. So when I got home, I was like, I wanted home cooked food. And you know, when you can cook, it's like eating out is not your first option, you know? So thank you so much for the support, Simone. Hold on, mommy. Send me support for what?
Okay.
¿Dónde es? Hold on. Right here.
Oh.
Alright.
I put the eggs first.
Un momento, por favor.
Yeah, I know you need to put the onion.
Okay. Alright.
I'm really good at guessing.
So she's gonna
Spanish.
You're really good at guessing Spanish?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to guess. You're supposed to know by the time I'm talking to you.
Well, I guess a lot.
You guess a lot?
Yeah, I really know what you're saying, but I just guess
Oh.
what you're saying.
Okay.
I really know what
Alright.
you're really saying.
Alright, put it in. Well, you're guessing right. So, you see, a lot of languages, you don't have to know the words, but based on how they say it.
Wait, I want to do
Oh, you want to do it? Alright, guys, she's the chef is here. The chef is here. You see? I'm telling you, these kids, they watch what you do and they learn. Be careful what you do around your kids because these kids are learning, okay? It may be you don't see it right away, but they do the things that you do. Trust me. Just like that, you have to be careful the environment you put your kid in because even though they may not do it right away, they're learning from the environment. Like I remember when I was dating my husband, I went to live with him, and he has somebody that lives in where he lives. They shout all the time, right? They always shouting. Put it back on the stove. They're always shouting. Like when they call somebody, they shout. And even though I wasn't shouting and I didn't come from a home that people shout, guess what? By the time I leave that home, I was shouting. Like if I'm calling somebody, I'm screaming on the top of my lungs. Wait, mama. Let me help you. I'm screaming on the top of my lungs, like shouting. I remember my brother said to me, sis, where do you get that from? You never used to do that. And I'm happy that he called it out because for real, I was never a person who just shout like, hey, I wasn't that type of person. But because I was in that environment, even though I didn't do it while I was living there, I was getting accustomed to doing it, you know, hearing people do it and thinking, normalizing it in my head. So that when I left that home, I started to do it because I thought it was normal. So just be careful the environment you put your kids in and the things you expose your kids to, because even though they may not do it right away, they are really, really observing what you're doing. Because perfect example, Gabby sees how I do the eggs, and even though she's not cooking, she saw how I did it, and now she's doing it the same exact way. So, yep. So good morning. Say good morning, guys. You are a cooking guy, Gabby. So good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I really do.
Good morning. All right. You don't have long because your tutor will be on shortly. So don't take too long, girl. Ready for our plate? She's doing good, guys. Guys, don't forget to double tap on the screen. We have 27 people watching. And if we could get 27 likes, that would be good, as well as some subscriptions. So please go ahead and hit that like button. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate your support. And we're going on an adventure today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to take you because I don't know if we have coverage. But I'm testing out my GoPro so I can vlog from it.
Okay.
She is getting fox run. What is that? You can flip it one more time. Lord, don't get that late. Don't let that baby burn herself. Come on now. So I'm her mom and I'm right here. Do you really think I would let my baby burn herself? Or what? You don't put your kid on the stove? They gotta learn somehow. She's 8 years old. And practice make perfect. In Jamaica, a 10 and 11-year-old is cooking, okay? Cooking a full-blown meal. I'm from a Jamaican culture, so safely in the kitchen, I'm going to teach my kid what to do. So hopefully I don't offend anybody on here. Hopefully it doesn't come off as any bad way to anybody, but I'm going to teach mine, okay? All right, just a little bit more. All right. Oh, so the kids cook better than me, Paper Bag says. See? You know, you got to learn. Well, I'm from a Jamaican culture. I'm not American. I'm Jamaican. And so, hey. Oh. Go in here. You can put it in here. She got to learn. It's not going to be perfect. It's not. Turn the stove off. Turn it off. Other way. The other way. No. Turn it back around. All the way. Good job. Good job. She will have to learn, my love. Unfortunately. Because that's how I know I am not the perfect cook. I'm not Chef Ramsay. But guess what? I can feed my family. I can take care of them. Well, and that's all because my brother, you know. No, when I'm sick, my 15-year-old make dinner. See that? Daddy. So your 15-year-old, Simone, is way better than mine because I have a 24, 21, 17, 217. And trust and believe me, if I'm sick, they can't put anything on the stove. And so that part of parenting for me, I failed that. Because at the time I was like going to school, I was working 2 jobs. So what I do is I always do it myself. I don't have the time like what I have with Gabs, no, to sit her down. All right, you can go eat that, mama. She's making her plate. You're not gonna eat some of dumpling, girl. Yeah, to sit her down and train her. And so for that, you realize they DoorDash every single money they work. They just work to DoorDash. And so I'm resetting it with Gabs because a lot of us parents, we may come from a certain background, right? And because we felt like those backgrounds did not build us, in which it really did, we don't want her kids, that to happen to our kids. We want to teach her kids. We want to do it for our kids because, hey, when I was growing up, I had to do it. And when I was growing up, I lived in a 1-bedroom house with 10 people, and I don't want it for my kids, so I'm going to buy this mansion. But what we're doing is we are creating habits for them that these kids, when you realize they're 21, they expect for you to still cook for them. They expect for you to give them that luxury house, luxury car, because they did not learn the thing that you have learned while you were growing up, okay? And so the reason why I say that is, for me, I grew up with my brother majority of my life. My brother was 2 years older than me, and he used to do a lot of stuff for me. So when I got married, or even when I started having kids, I really did not know how to cook. I really didn't know how to cook. And it was embarrassing for me as an adult because my peers in Jamaica, they were cooking like rice and peas and chicken and all of these nice food. And I didn't even know how to steam rice. But because my brother, he took on the role of being a mom, a dad, a big brother. He would cook for me, and then he would send me on the stove to cook, and when I can't, he would laugh. So he wouldn't show me what to do. But when I got married, my husband, he basically, like, things that I did not know how to perfect, he showed me what to do, but I was really offended. I was like, boy, I don't need you to tell me nothing. I don't need you to do this. But once I develop humility and decide to learn, I realized that it's not that I couldn't cook. I didn't know how to cook. It's because I wasn't taught how to do it. So I'm resetting it with Gabby, you know? Yes, bless him. Thank you so much. And so that's why I really started the YouTube channel, because I started it because once I start learning how to cook, because I didn't have any passion for it, what I did was I would come in the kitchen and in 2 minutes I expect to cook oxtail because I'm not into this long cooking of foods and waiting that long time to cook this and to cook that. I was not into that. Okay, so my husband it reached a point when he come home and I cook, he wouldn't eat the food. He'd be like, I know you didn't spend any time cooking this. So I got mad. So because I would always get upset, I'm like, you know, sometimes people are giving you constructive criticism, but because it's all about us, we feel like, hey, I don't need you to tell me anything. I don't need you to this. I don't need you to that. And so he will come home and he'll cook his own food and I'll be pissed off because I'm like, boy, I spent my time cooking that food, but did I really cook the food well? So
no.
I picked it. You see, Gabby? No. So I picked the camera up and I decided to start vlogging while I'm cooking. And I had bad times on live, and a lot of people, they were there to support me, right? They were there to support me through me learning how to cook and learning how to, I knew how to do a few things. Like the American dishes, I was good at because they're very easy to cook. But the Jamaican cuisine, boy, to cook Jamaican food, you have to know how to cook, baby, okay? Because if you don't know how to cook Jamaican food, then guess what? Your food are gonna flop, as Jamaicans say, and nobody was gonna eat your food. So I had a lot of Jamaicans who were watching my channel, and they definitely teach me a few techniques and stuff that now I can cook. And even if me feel the food spoil, like last night I was frying with the wrong oil, my husband come and he devoured the food. Like he couldn't even tell that I made a mistake, but it's all because of coming on YouTube. I'm vlogging my journey of cooking, and that's how I started. I started YouTube by cooking, right? But you said, I wish I could cook. You know what? Just try. Just get up one day and decide, even if you fry some pancake, do some pancakes and it burned, do it again. Because in my household, my stepson, he loves my, what is it called? Salmon kraut. That's a salmon cake. And I remember the first time I did salmon cake on here. Does any one of you remember when I did salmon cake for the first time?
Yeah, I did.
My kids said they don't eat salmon cake because of that. Because I ruined it. And then after that, I learned different techniques. What did I do wrong? How did I make it? What did I do? And now my salmon cakes are the best, okay? So that's practice. Cooking just take practicing. And it takes patience. So if you don't have patience, you can pick the camera up just like me and start vlogging. Yeah, there are a lot of people who's gonna be online and they're gonna chastise you. Oh, you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to this. You know, no, I did not. Most of my time was spent studying. Don't throw with these sausages, Gabby. This girl. There's something else. Yeah, most of my time is spent like learning. I'm an avid learner, right? So I feel like, hey, I'm gonna have an helper. I'm gonna marry rich, and I will not have to do that. Okay, I'm gonna make enough money so I ain't gotta go in the kitchen. But let me tell you something. Even if you make enough money, you still need to know how to go in the kitchen. Because especially in this time that we're living in, if you live in the United States, if you're not cooking, that enough money that you used to make in 2019 is no money today. Okay? So cooking is definitely the way. So if you're struggling to cook, or if you don't know what you're doing, follow me, and you can learn from me, okay? Because as much as I'm cooking well now, I'm still not perfect at what I'm doing. Hold on. Gab, hold on. Gabby, why aren't you online? Go log in. Go get your stuff and log in. Come on, get your paper. All right, Gabby has tutoring, guys. Wish I could cook. John just practiced. Start with eggs. Started boiling mashed potato, and to do salmon. Salmon is the easiest thing to cook because you can put salmon in the air fryer. Take it up. Take up your book. Go. Aunt Tasha probably was calling you too. Go, run. You have the tablet?
No, I can't find my room. I didn't have
Lorena has it. Go, log on. And that's another thing, guys. So for Gabby doing her tutoring, I'm always logging on the computer for her. Always going in there, trying to set it up for her. She's 8 years old. In Jamaica, at 8 years old, they're sending an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old to the shop. They're literally sending a 5-year-old to the shop. And sometimes the shop is on the main road, bro. A 5-year-old is walking to school by themselves. And so in America, I know the culture is different, but I don't want to basically handicap Gabby by doing everything for her, and she's not going to learn what to do. So as a mom, my role is to help her to do it, right? But eventually she will have to know how to do it, especially New York and DC. You see some little tiny kids taking the train by themselves. So it's not just only in Jamaica. In major cities, little kids, they got to grow up real fast. They got to learn about their surrounding real quick, you know? So I'm from Jamaica, Kelly. All right. So Kelly, you can relate. Raw Bond Courage says, when I was young, the lady that I was dating, I thought she was going to be my wife. So I teach her how to cook everything. We didn't end up she didn't end up marrying me, but I know her husband is enjoying her food. You know what? That's a good thing. You sow a seed, okay? At least you're feeding a whole village. Hold on there. Hold on. I think this is Aunt Tasha. Hold on. Hello? Gabby's trying to log on? Yeah. Okay. So the phone is dead and she's trying to log on, but I told her to log because I can't keep teaching Gabby how to. I just gave her the password and I keep teaching her how to log on. And when I'm not here, Gabby will have to do it by herself. She's almost 9. So, you know, she will have to do it. Gabby, are you on? Gabby? Where is that? Where's iPod? Okay. Gabby, all right. Her room is too messy. All right.
I need to charge it.
Yes. Of course. No, she can't find a charger for the clock. Hold on, let me get the where's Zoom? No, she said she saw it in a box, but no, she doesn't know. Where's Zoom?
You skipped it. It's right there.
Oh, you see how you're smart now? No, you. All right, go log in with Aunt Tasha. Use my charger in my room that I have for my phone.
Which one?
Go log in with Aunt Tasha, and then you get the charger in my room. Here you go. I'm gonna give her the phone. Here, talk to Aunt Tasha. Go sign in. You have the stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I had to give her. I'm not doing it for her today. I'm just not doing it for her. She's almost 9, and she will have to learn these skills, guys. She will have to learn these skills. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you're poor or you're rich. Life skills, your kids have to know it. They just have to know it. It's like the world is going to heat them up if they don't know how to function in the world. I think for Jamaicans, the reason why we're so successful wherever we go, if you are raised in the island of Jamaica, I don't care if you're rich or you're poor, you have life skills. You hear me? You know how to survive. You know, if there is no electricity, how to get some kerosene and lamp and burn it. You know, if there's no running water, how to get some bucket of water, a pipe, and bathe and still keep good hygiene while still make your house clean and make your dishes clean. You know how to survive. You know, that's called survival skill in America. We live off survival skill. So we could go to the moon and we will survive because we know it's like basically growing up in the jungle, right? You left your kid in the jungle and you think they're gonna die. That's the same thing in Jamaica. Like, they will survive. A hurricane could just pass today. Jamaicans there are going to survive because not because there's not electricity that means they're not going to cook. Not because there's not electricity that means they're not going to take a bath. Or not because they don't have electricity or running water mean their clothes is not going to be sparkling clean. In which that's something that Jamaicans take a lot of pride in. Like, their clothes have to be real clean. And a Jamaican, they are so prideful with white clothes. Their white clothes have to be sparkling white. And they don't have washing machine now, okay? They don't. How do you say I domain? Domain? Yeah. So I need to teach Gabby those skills. I need to. Because I realized with my older kids, I did so much for them. Like for my 24-year-old, even when she was 15, I was still washing her clothes. Make it make sense. And she's 24 and you realize she don't even sort her clothes when she's washing them. Because now it's like painful for her to do it because my mom has been doing my clothes until I was 15 years old. And I thought I was doing something good, you know? I really thought I was really doing something good by doing everything for them and giving them everything that they want. But I was actually creating a monster, you know? I was actually not preparing them to be the next future wife, you know, the next future mom, in which they can learn these skills along the way. Because as I said, cooking, I learned it along the way. But all of these basic skills, learning it along the way, it's burdensome. It's really, really, really burdensome. So for Gabs, I start younger. I start, hey, come put these clothes in the machine. Let's sort these clothes out together. Hey, let's spread the bed. Right? That's one thing they know how to do. All my kids, they know how to spread the bed very well. Because that's something that they always had to do as a kid. But like all the basic stuff, they don't. You're a pretty Jamaican woman. I mean, we are all a pretty woman. Like every woman is pretty. Every single woman, Jamaican, American, wherever you are, Europeans, anywhere, we're all pretty. Because remember, we are made in the image and likeness of God. And so if we're making this image, it doesn't matter what our features are, we're all pretty. So thank you so much. All right, so I'm done cooking. You'll see me later. I'm going on a farm today, guys. But I put this on because I might have to put a sweater. Because you know when you're going on a farm, it's fall. And even though where I'm at right now, the temperature is not that cold, you know? But what you realize is when you go up a little bit further up north, like you go up to Pennsylvania side, because Maryland is close to Pennsylvania, you realize that it gets chilly. So on those farms, it's real chilly. So you could go up there and just get sick and you'd be like, oh, am I still in Maryland? Don't do that. Be respectful. Like, am I still in Maryland? I was just down there and it was 60. And for us up north, 40 degrees is cold. 60 degrees is not cold, but when you go up in the mountains where they have those farms, it is pretty cold. It's pretty cold up there. So I'll be going on a farm today with Gabby. And that's an annual thing I do. Another thing I want to talk about. For parents who have children, you know, I'm having a hard time adjusting because I have 4 kids, right? And everywhere I go, my kids are always with me. Always. But now that I have adult children, my older daughter, she's gone about her business. The other one is in college. The 17-year-old wants to do her own thing. For me, just to get up and plan a trip with Gabs is so hard for me to do. And what I get to realize is the things that my older kids get to enjoy, Gabby is missing out. Like every year we go to Myrtle Beach. And because the older kids can't come, I just don't want to take Gabby up alone and go to Myrtle Beach. You know what I mean? Or we go apple picking, or we go strawberry picking, or we do so many things. But because they are not coming with me, it's like a part of me is just, it's like separation anxiety. Any parents on here can relate to that? I am not Indian. I am Jamaican. Real Jamaican. I probably have some Spanish ancestors. Hold
I
on.
don't know why Energy put this thing number on.
All right, bring the number come. Bring the number come. Bring the number come, Gabby. Please. Please. And I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm not doing it. Because I have the same thing with your grandmother right now. Because I keep doing it for you guys. Hurry up and bring it come, Gabby. I keep doing it for them, and they're not learning how to do it. Yeah.
It's true.
And the same thing, like,
I have her write it on a paper.
and she lose the paper like 500 times.
Why is she taking the paper off the desk? I tell her, leave the paper.
So I write the paper for her again. All right, come. It's nothing to cry for. It's just being responsible, okay? All right, come.
And that's what I keep
You're gonna dial the number. Dial the number here. Look at the paper.
Sorry for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Good job. Yep. All right. And then you're gonna put in. So what is it? What number is that?
6,
Uh-huh. What else?
0,
Uh-huh.
5.
Uh-huh. And then you're gonna go back to the numbers. And the uppercase. Uh-huh. Do it now. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right, press continue. Tasha, the thing not going
See?
through, 605, so she's right. 605 BCE is not going through.
See, I told you it's not working.
There's no space between 605 and
There's none. Yeah, it's not going through.
I told you, you didn't believe me.
Oh, Gabby, it went through. I don't know how, why it never went through for her. Hold on. It's okay. But I did see you press it. It's okay. All right. It's okay. It wasn't going through, Tasha.
so that means why the internet?
She going. I don't know. She pressed it, but it wasn't going through. It's okay. All right.
So Gabby, we're not gonna keep crying.
Hold on.
Okay? We're gonna have a conversation today. You see how you like to play? You see that little activity book that you got yesterday?
All right. Go upstairs. One.
You're gonna sit and concentrate because you need to focus. Too much playing going on, and your brain is scattered.
Oh, see you later, Timon. Bye. She's been a bit rough with. No, it's not a bit rough with her. So with Gabs, Gabby is in this baby stage. She's been a baby, and the baby thing is gonna run out because while she's a baby in the house, other people are not gonna see her as a baby. So we're trying to gear her up so that she's prepared. So when she goes out into the real world, because she's a baby at home, but she's not a baby in real life. You know what I mean? And she goes to school. If they expect her to do something, they're gonna treat her like she's expected to do it. You know? And then you know how society is. They measure you to everybody else. Okay? They measure you. Be like, oh, if Jen can do it, why you can't do it? In which is not okay. It's not okay. Everybody move at their own pace. But with Gabs, she is so dependent on us. Like, she wants us to find our stuff for her. She wants us, now she's independently getting herself dressed for school, in which that's a good thing, right? And it's not like we're forcing her to do things faster than how she can do. We're giving her tasks that we know that she can handle. But she was right. She was trying to enter the passcode in, but it wasn't going through. I'm not sure why, because I saw her enter it. So probably that's where her frustration come from, why she's crying. And that's why it's important for us, again, as parents, to listen to them. Because even though it may seem like she wasn't trying to do it, she was, because I saw that. So, yeah, but like her password, she's supposed to log into the Zoom. Every week, you have to find a password for Gabby. Every single week, which is not okay, all right? Because guess what? If Gabby wants to play, or Gabby wants something to end with some friends, Gabby's going to find it. And so the priority for Gabby is not in a right place. And as a thing that I'm trying to teach Gabby is, I don't want her to be a follower. I want her to be a leader, right? Because I have two daughters who are total followers, okay? Only one of them I have that's a total leader. And so once you're a follower and you have to do things because your friends are doing it or stuff, you're going to lose sight. So Gabby is that type of girl. She is like, if my friends are doing it, she's all in. She's so focused. She will know it. She will do it. You know what I mean? But if she doesn't have any interest in it, then she don't do it, right? So it's a practice. What we're doing with her is we're practicing that these things are stuff that you will need to do. Whether it's associated with a friend or a play activity, these are stuff that you will have to do, right? In which she's doing pretty good, honestly. She is doing good. But when it comes on to that part of it, is when she struggles. So it's just kindly reminder. You know how Jehovah does, right? He give us reminders, but when we're not doing what he asks, he angle us rough, even though he's a loving God, right? So he do sometimes angle us rough because, hey, I don't go back on my promises. If I say this is what I'm gonna do, as much as I love you, this is what the expectations are. So we're not bending the expectation for Gabs either. And so doing it in a loving way, while she's learning how to navigate life. Yeah. So it was nice talking to you guys. I'll try to take you, if I can take you guys on live, I think it will be better than vlogging for me. But I'll see. I'll see if I can take you guys on live today. If not, I do have the GoPro. I've been having this GoPro for over 8 years. And I'm officially gonna start using it and see. So come along with me on my journey today. And bye. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys in my vlog. And I'm coming back tonight to cook, because this also a late night cooking. We cook dinner late. We enjoy the day, and then when we come back, we cook dinner late. So bye. I love you guys. Take care. Stay blessed. And wishing you a happy Sunday, a safe Sunday, and just spread some love. Give somebody something today. No matter how little bit it is, how small it is, practice. And this is what I'm trying to do, guys. I'm really trying, because last thing I'm going to leave with you guys. I am always a giver. I'm this girl who would just give everything. Like, I would give. But then I got to a point in my life is because I give so much, people start abusing me giving, right? And so I stopped giving. I literally stopped giving. And yesterday at our circuit assembly, they were talking about, that's one of the key of giving, and I'm like, God, are you really talking to me? Because I got so upset, like people were just taking advantage. And I was like, I got so upset. So one thing I'm going to start practicing back again is to just share. I know my family needs, but just share a little bit of what I have with somebody else who is in need. So guys, please, if you see anybody on the road today, I know money is tight. I know the bills are a lot. I know life is hard and difficult. But if you could just share a word of love, peace, kindness, right? Share it with somebody. If you could share even a coffee, even buy a coffee for somebody in front of you, right? Just please do that today. If you see a homeless person on the street, if you could just give them even 1 penny, 1 cent, whatever you have, right? Because remember that lady in the Bible, she gave the little she had, and she was more blessed than the person who gave a lot, because that's what she had. So if you're giving from the little that you have, please. So we're going to start practicing. We're almost in the month of October. For the first week of October to the ending of November, because I'm not going to do it in December, to the ending of November, we're going to practice the art of giving somebody something, if it's even once a week. And I'm going to emphasize that a lot, right? Freelance, you are right. Yeah. God don't need your money, and God don't need your money. So we didn't say that God need her money. You know, our God, he has the best credit, and he is a trillionaire, okay? He has money that never runs out. So no, he don't need our money, but he needs our acts of service. He needs our act of kindness, right? And as I'm saying, it may be hard for you. It may be difficult for you, right? So to open up the chain of receiving, and to open up to do what God asks you to do, just out of the little that you have for your family, share a little bit with somebody. Just even, you don't have to give money. If it's even a plate of a meal, if it's even a bottle of water, and you're doing this for no return, guys. When you're doing this, it should not be associated with, well, I'm going to give John a case of water, so hopefully next week, when me need a case of water, John bring it back. Hopefully, that's not the motive that you're having. When I say that we're practicing the heart of giving, thank you so much, Money. When we're practicing the heart of giving, out of the little bit that we have, you probably pay all the bills and you just have $2 left in your account. I'm not saying that you're going to take the $2 and give to somebody, if it's even 50 cents. Because while it's only $2 you have, 50 cents can do a lot for somebody else. Just practice the heart of, hi Classic, how are you? Practice the heart of giving. Practice just for, just if it's even for till October, for the first, I'm going to start the first week of October till the ending of November. Normally what me and my kids do is, it's getting cold in Maryland, and so you know the hand warmers, you know those things you get in Home Depot, I would buy packs of those. And oftentimes you would see homeless people on the street and they're cold, so you give it to them. So even Gabby is, once it's getting cold, she's like, Mommy, are you gonna buy those stuff so we can give these people? And you don't have to be homeless for me to give it to you. If I see you on the road, sometimes people are at a bus stop and they're waiting for the bus a long time, they're not dressed properly, you're gonna just practice the heart of giving, not just today, every day. Just give a little bit out of what you have to somebody. And the thing about it is, I was given, but I was given wrongly. I was given to the people that I know. So that's why I become an ATM machine for everybody, because I was given to everybody that I know. And so every time they want something, they come to me. I'm not giving you because I know you. I'm giving somebody something that my heart say, hey, give that person this. I'm going to give it to them with no return, with nothing to look back for, with nothing to look out to. Because guys, there are a lot of people in this world having a hard time. I know it's hard for you, but there are so many people out there who has way much harder time. Did the military make you move to Maryland? I do work. I do work with the branch of services, but I did not move to Maryland because of the military. I moved to Maryland because Maryland was my choice of home. I came to the state in Florida, and sorry guys, Florida is a retirement state and I didn't know. So that's not somewhere I wanted to be. And so when I moved to Maryland, the instant I moved to Maryland, and I'm going to give you the story one day. I moved to Maryland, not knowing that I moved to Maryland. It's a crazy story. But the instant when I came to Maryland, I came into DC. And so as far as I know, I was going to DC. I didn't know I was in Maryland. And I got a vision. I got a vision that when I moved to Maryland, that I got a map, and the lady in the dream was telling me that, hey, this land that you moved to has been assigned to you by a person. And she called the person name. I've never met the person, but I know of the person. The person is already deceased. I don't believe in dead. I don't worship the dead, but she mentioned the person's name. And what I've heard of the person, I don't know them. And she told me, she brought me to a plot of land, and it was next to an highway. And she said, I have this land for you, and I want you to farm on it in the backyard. And I'm talking about, I didn't even have money. I was basically homeless. I had 2 kids and I was pregnant. And so how is that going to be possible? What is this dream all about? And she told me no matter what I do, I must always try to stay in this land called Maryland. That's what she told me in the dream. And she gave me the plot of land, and just as I'm about to turn around to go tell the people then that in line, because it was a long line, she said, oops, don't do that. Don't tell anybody, because they have been here waiting on this title for at least 3 days. And you just came and got it. So I don't want no distraction. I need you to go get a ride home, because I didn't drive where I went. Get a ride home. So I got up in the morning and I was telling my friend, and she's like, what? I was like, yeah, that is crazy. And she's like, she gave you a map? I said, yeah, she gave me a map. And you know what, guys? Let me tell you, everything in that dream, everything is that dream. So I know if you believe in God, and you believe that they're angels, and you believe that Holy Spirit is there, just know it's real. Everything in that dream came to tuition. And so it wasn't by choice, it wasn't by coincidence, it was ordained for me. And so for that reason, I am a strong believer in God. And even though when I moved here, I didn't have a place to live, I didn't have a job, I didn't even know I was starting all over, that was guaranteed that God had put this place for me. And I want to tell you, because God wanted for me to have a witness. So I told my best friend. And I remember I got here, one of my friends in Florida, she called me and she says, you know that there's a program open up in Florida where you could get housing and, you know, you could go back to school. And she says, you could come. And I said, okay, I'm going to come. But I'd applied for this apartment that was a low income apartment in Florida. And during that same time, those people call me and tell me that I am up on the waiting list for the apartment and I could move back to Florida. And just when I was about to grab my kids and say, hey, I'm going back to Florida, my friend reminded me of the dream. She said, I understand. And it's not because I want you to stay here, because I'm not staying in Maryland, in which she eventually moved back to Maryland, but she did move away. She said, but when God gives you a promise, you have to hold that promise. And I said, but God never gave me a promise. She said, you had a dream. And that was the promise. And he said, no matter what you do, don't leave Maryland. And I was like, girl, please. Girl, please. And she came back again and she said, I know you think I want you to stay here, but I want you to remember that don't break our promise. Because if he promised you something and you walk away from it because you're walking on your own understanding, you may be left on your own. How many of us walk on our own understanding because of what we want or how it makes us feel? Hello, how are you? How are you? Hi, Rena. Hi, Melvin. Hello. Hi, Classic. A lot of us have walked on our own understanding because of how it makes us feel. And so for me in Florida, I was going to get a low income apartment. and I wasn't gonna pay much. And there was this program that's gonna help me to go do a CNA course, and that's what I wanted. I'm in Maryland. I didn't even have a job yet, and I was staying with my friend. Who don't want independence? But you know what, guys? I can tell you, and I'm gonna tell the story in a video. I can tell you. I said, okay, I'm not going. I was 7 months pregnant, and I was in a car with one of my friends. So God put everybody in place for me. God put people in place, and people start show up like never before. And I was wondering, I was asking God, was it because of my grandmother goodness and how she treated people, why these things were opening up for me? And as parents, we need to sow good seeds so that our children can. Because my grandmother was that person who she would welcome strangers, and she would put out her all for strangers, no matter even if they go back and say bad things about her. She would always do that, right? And what I did was, a lady came into my life. I know you hear me talk about her all the time. Her name is Rita, Miss Rita. She's my daughter, godmother. We call her grandma. And she's in the military. And my friends, they were stationed here because of the military. And she came in my life. And to the birth of my child, she was there. I was driving in the car with our daughter, and we were at KFC. And she pulled up in the drive-thru. And I'm going to walk by faith. I went to the drive-thru and I said, hey, are you guys hiring? And they said yes. And I said, when can I come to do an application? They said, you could come tomorrow. But I live right across the street. That's how I live I was living in Greenbelt at the time. And so everything was in walking distance. And I walked to the job, 7 months pregnant. And the man hired me. Would you hire a 7 months pregnant woman? And you don't want to know how I looked when I was 7 months pregnant. I was huge. That's the biggest pregnancy I have. And he hired me at 7 months. And so for the 7 months, that was my way to get some baby clothes. That was my way I was able to get some baby clothes because I just moved here, right? And so look how God stepped in purpose, right? While I was working there was a job across the street. It's called Silver Diner, a restaurant. Now, no, I'm not leaning on my own self, right? I walk across the street, being 8 months pregnant, and I went and I was like, are you guys hiring? Who's going to hire me? 8 months pregnant, right? They hired me at 7 months, but who's going to hire me? So the guy said to do my application. I did my application. I end up having a baby. After I have the baby, they call me for a job. And that became the job that started my life, my career, my future, my everything. And all because I standed in faith. For me going to school, I always had a plan to go to school. I met a judge, because a lot of judges, because the courtroom is so close, the appeals courtroom is so close. And one thing, being a server, you meet so many people and they have good conversation with you. That's how I got into the federal government. A customer told me like, hey, you could apply and this is how you apply. And that's how my life changed, guys. Everything for me changed in that moment. And that was all because I was listening, and that because I wasn't in my own self, in which I wanted to. But I had not shared my dream. They always say, don't share your dream, not tell nobody your dream. They're right. They're right. But sometimes you have to share your dreams with a trusted friend, because it's that trusted friend that told me that I'm not supposed to. The story is awesome. I love it. Did you give birth at Bethesda? No, I give birth at a hospital in DC. What is it called? It's closed down now. What is that hospital called in DC? No, it's not Sinai. Is Sinai? Jesus. Providence Hospital. That's where I gave birth. And listen, let me tell you that I know that God is God. So I got here pregnant. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have insurance. I didn't know what to do. I ain't get no prenatal care. I don't know what to do. I got 2 kids and a baby in my stomach. I picked the phone up. I was trying to call clinics to see if they could take me. They said because I'm so far along, they can't take me in their clinic. So I said, what am I going to do? All my kids are C-section, in which all my kids are C-section, my 4 kids. I said, my 2 previous kids are C-section. And I may raise, when I go to a hospital, I may have to get a C-section. So I want to be able to see a doctor, okay? I'll give you the story, guys. Kept you focused on the dream and a promise. Yes, sometimes we got to keep trusted friends that can remind us of our dreams. Like, don't lose focus, because it's that trusted friend why I didn't move. Even though she left me in Maryland. She reminded me that I got a promise when I moved here the first day that I wasn't supposed to leave. So I was telling you about the baby now. And so I was pregnant and I was calling around. And the last call I had, everybody told me no. I just burst out crying. I told the lady, I said, I don't know what to do. I haven't been here long in the country. I said, I'm an immigrant and I'm trying to figure out, I don't have family here. I don't know how the system works. I don't know, and I don't know what to do. And I know I'm going to give birth, and it's 95% of the time it's going to be a C-section, and I don't want to die in child's birth. I remember telling the lady the story, right? And I was crying my eyes out, and she gave me this address. And she said, you need to come. How am I going to go to the address? So it wasn't far away from where I live. It was like College Park. I was in Greenbelt. So I ended up taking the bus there. And when I got there, she told me that this clinic is to save people who is going to, it's like they're going to terminate their pregnancy. And so what they do is they save people. Remember, it's listed as a clinic, right? I'm new in America. I don't know much. So it's listed as a clinic. But the trap is she would like, basically, they'll talk to people who are going to try to terminate their pregnancy, get them and try to convince them. But because she heard my story, she said they don't take people at 7 months, but I should come and she'll be able to see a doctor. There was no doctor there, guys. There was no doctor there. I wasn't going to see no doctor. I could have walked in my bed. There was no doctor. But when I got there, she made me sign a paper that I could release my daughter picture because they're promoting pro-life. And because she knows that I was an immigrant here, she's going to ask the director if they could waive the requirement for me. Look at God. She's going to waive the requirement for me, and so that they could admit me into the program. Well, the program ended up accepting me. They paid for me to have baby in Providence Hospital. I had a private suite. They paid for all my transportation to go to the doctor. So now I started to go to Providence. They paid for my C-section. They paid for aftercare. Then tell me if God is not real. If anybody out there is going through something, and God has given you a promise, but he's the real. And you're not seeing that promise because it seems like what he promised you, it's not happening. Don't give up. Just don't give up, guys. I don't know who I need to share this with. Just don't give up. There was no string attached to this place. The only thing I needed to do was to share a birth picture of my child. Honestly, right now, if you go to that place is no longer there. So that was there for me, okay? That was there for me because God had promised me that he had assigned my life to be here in this state. And even though it wasn't the state that I desire, this was what he had for me. How many of us today are going through something that we think we're in a situation that we don't desire? And we think that God did not have that in place for us. How did you know? How do you know that God did not have that in place for us? Dominican, you're right. Yeah, Dominican, God is real. And so every time I'm about to doubt God, like you're going through a bad situation, and it seems like this is the end of my situation. I remember my daughter, Gabby, when she was born prematurely. And I was watching a video with a lady almost died 2 days before. And my kids was watching the video. My kids stopped me and say, Mommy, come watch this video. The lady almost died in childbirth. And I almost died in childbirth with Gabs. She was 2 months early. she came out okay, but I was on life support for almost a month, right? And my husband never told anybody I was on life support. If you weren't caretaking for my child, he didn't tell my mom, he didn't tell my dad, he didn't tell nobody, he didn't tell my brother, he didn't tell nobody, because he said he did not want that energy out there, because he knew that God was going to keep me alive, right? Until I woke up and released from the hospital, that's when my husband shared. No, my spiritual, the lady that was just on the phone, she's my spiritual mom. He shared it with her. He told her that that's the only person my husband told. So be careful who you're telling your sickness to. Be careful who you're telling your trials to, right? Because sometimes not everybody has the good energy for you. And honestly, my husband's faith restored me, because the promise that God had for me was not finished yet. And there was much more to come. But after my child was born, she was preemie. And so there's a lot of delays. There was a lot of delays at Gabs. There are a lot of delays. The first time I heard Gabby said a word was probably when she was 4. Even though our sister said she heard, I never heard this child speak, you know? And so I know God promised that he has for me. And I trust God, right? I trust God. Gabby's 8 and she just started reading. So even though she didn't start reading at 6 like her sisters, or 5, she started reading. So it's just time. It's just the timing. And I trust God. I trust God, and I believe that whatever God has in store for us is gonna happen. We can't change our destiny. We can't change, but we gotta listen. We gotta listen, because even though something may seem good for us, because how it makes us feel, we're all egotistic, right? So it makes us feel good, and it makes us feel like, hey, if I do this is gonna be a good result. But is that the result that God has for you? Or is that the results that you want? Are you living in your purpose? Are you living in your purpose? I remember I come to Maryland, I wanted to do nursing, because that's what I thought my purpose was. That's what I thought my purpose was. I want to do nursing. I said, this is what I want to do. But that wasn't my purpose. That wasn't my calling. And no matter what I did, I wasn't successful at it. I wasn't. Because that's not my purpose. So I want you guys today to remember to live in your purpose. Go out and share something with somebody. If it's even a kind word, if you don't have financially to support somebody, I'm not talking about your friend. I'm not talking about your neighbor. I'm not talking about your sister. I'm not talking about your brother. But if that's who God tells you to share it with, do. Please do. We must understand that we're tested in our faith. And it's only we're able to share and spread the testimony of how we be great and how we feel. Yeah, a lot of us are going through our Job moments. A lot of us are going through our Job moments. But a lot of us want to be Job. But when the Job moment comes, we don't want to deal with that. We give up. We give up because, God, if I serve you, there's no way you're going to make these things happen to me. Because they feel like God is allowing these things to happen to you. The devil is. But God only allows it because of your faith. How strong is your faith in God? And every time, like I'm at work and I'm dealing with a situation currently, and I'm telling you, I just was about to say something out of my mouth at work the other day. And I remember God say to me, I could hear it in my voice. How many times have you been through stuff that you have come out victorious? Trust me. It's temporarily. It's temporary. When these things are happening, just hold faith. Because God, I wasn't a believer then. I wasn't a believer when I got that dream of what God did for me. And where God said I was going to live and how God dictate everything for me. Everything. And I got it all laid out in a dream. Till one point, I started telling God, like, stop giving me dreams. And I don't know if I was being disrespectful to God. I don't know if I was, because I got so frustrated because I remember as a kid, I had a dream about a neighbor. I did tell the neighbor and it happened. And I was like, God, I don't want you to give me no dreams. I said, just leave me out of this. I don't want to tell nobody nothing. I don't want to do this. And I honestly felt like for a long time, I stopped getting dreams. There was no more dreams coming to me. Things that I could have seen, like if you're in a bad friend, I could see everything about that friend without even talking to that friend. I could see everything about that person without even knowing that person, just by going to my bed and dreaming it. I said, God, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to be terrorized by this stupidness. I just don't want it. And you know what? It went away. It went away. But let me tell you, if there is something that is about to happen dangerously that's going to affect me, I'm going to see it. I'm going to go to my bed and I'm going to see it. And he's like, I'm giving you enough to protect you, because for me, I could not manage that journey. I just couldn't. It got scary for me. It's like, stay faithful. So that's why I end up staying faithful to God. I end up putting him in the first of my life. I rely on him for everything. And even with my kids, I teach them about God. I teach them about God every day, and everything we do, we include that. But however, they're children and they're going to make their own choices. But think about not having that relationship with God. Would I know that I should stay here in Maryland? Would I know that this was what God had in store for me? A little immigrant girl coming from Jamaica. Don't have anything. Don't have any family on this ground. Don't have any education. Don't have a job. Don't have any family. Don't have no food. But if God provides for the birds, what is he going to do for you? What is he going to do for you? But just because I trusted God, and I didn't even know the trust that I have in God then, but now, after coming out on the other side, I realized that I fully trusted him. I fully trusted God in everything. And I didn't realize how much I trust him. But I fully trusted God. Are you fully trusting God? Are you going through something right now where you're giving it to God, but you're picking it back up and I'm like, God, I give this to you because I know you're going to take care of it for me? But you know what? Let me take it up, because I take too long. Let me just pick it back up, because you're taking too long to work on this. And you know how women act when they tell you to take out the trash? I mean, anybody has a wife or has a mom or whatever, they tell them to take out the trash. And you take your little time. They just go and pick the trash up and take it out themselves. Are you doing that in your moments? Are you picking up the trash, whatever burden you put on God? Are you taking it up back and say, boy, it might take too long, I'm going to do it myself? Probably I'm on here to tell you, he hears you. He hears you. You don't have to take it up. You don't have to remind him. He don't need a reminder. Once you give it to God and you supplicate, you know what supplicate mean? You cry your heart out to God and you tell him. Hello, not sure I got here, but I'm grateful I found you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gigi. Once you supplicate, the Bible says supplicate. That means once you put it to him and you cry your heart out, you ain't gotta one thing with our God, he don't need no reminder. Our God don't need no reminder. You don't gotta pray about the same thing 10 times. You just gotta tell him one time in supplication or prayer. And sometimes you don't even have to go down on your knee and pray. You can pray in your heart, because you know who can't read hearts? Satan can't read hearts. But God can read our hearts. Okay? God can read our heart. You can talk it in your heart to God, sincerely from your heart to God. And he hears it. It may not be, because probably the things that you may want is what God is saying that you can't have. And he probably already told you that you can't have. He probably already sent somebody to tell you you can't have it. But because that's what you want, probably that's why you're going through what you're going through. Probably because you're holding on to something that you want. This is what I want. And God, I don't want that. A lot of us, God has houses in store for us, right? And I remember, let me tell you, I remember I got here and I bought my first home in 2012. It was a recession. I didn't even know the word recession, guys. Let me tell you, I didn't know the word recession. I didn't even know what it means. And so I bought the house. I remember, let me tell you how I walk in faith, guys. Who want to hear this story today? I told myself I got an apartment through faith, and another lady who got me an apartment without no history through faith. And I said I didn't want to live in an apartment. Why I didn't want to live in an apartment, I don't know. I didn't have any friends who had a house. I didn't have any cousin. I didn't have nobody who had a house. I didn't even hear of anybody that I know, because the internet wasn't out like that I hear say they bought a house. But somehow, this lady want a house. I don't know how. But I wanted a house. And so what I did was, don't ask me why I wanted a house. Let me figure out why I wanted a house. No, I don't know. I was living in an apartment. That's what I see everybody do when I came here. They were all living in an apartment. But I went to a place in Laurel where there was a real estate person. I saw it. And I went to the real estate agent, and I gave the real estate agent my stuff, and they said, oh, I need your social. And he said, oh, but your credit score is 500. So how much money you work? I didn't even know how this story works, guys. I didn't even know. He said, how much money you work? And I tell him, he said, oh, so you work $8 an hour? So you're averaging like $20,000 a year? Guys, I wanted a house. I wanted a house. Don't ask me why. So he said, well, you'll be qualified to buy a house at $80,000. So he said, I'm going to put you on with somebody who's going to take you around to buy a house. So I came to my kids. I said, mommy's going to buy a house. Guys, when we get money from buy a house, I don't know. Mommy's going to buy a house. So when the lady take me to these places to buy these houses, I was like, I want him. This is what you call a house? Me not living in that, you know? But God, I guess I was moving in purpose. I guess it wasn't me who was moving, because I had no knowledge of what I was doing. But I went with this lady, and eventually I made $30,000 the end of that year. That was 2012. I was a server. I made $30,000. And so the lady told me she's going to put me with a lender. And the lender is a Jamaican. His mom is Jamaican. So she put me with the same lady that the other person put me with. Nobody knows what I was doing at the time, because it was a crazy thought. I don't know nobody that I knew who had a house. It was a crazy thought. So she put me with a lender. So I didn't share it otherwise than with my kids, because I took them with me. And we were looking on this house, but I was trying to figure out, how was I going to able to buy a house? This is not possible, right? I haven't been here that long. I've been in the country 5 years. I don't even know how this thing worked. And so she brought me with this lady. And the lady brought me to this guy. His name is Fernando. His mom is Jamaican and his dad is Jamaican. So that in its essence make him want to help. So he said, well, you can get this. He said, you can get $120,000 to buy a house. No, I thought that was a lot of money. I was like, oh my God, 120. But when they brought me to those houses, I was like, what in the world is this? I said, my apartment that I live in is not that bad, you know? So I was like, why am I doing this? But I didn't share it with any friend. But I didn't know why I was doing it. I was just going through the motion. So she brought me to this nice, beautiful home. Everything is done for the money. But I went outside because I love to talk to people. And I was talking to the neighbor, and she says, 5 houses on this block is selling because the crime around here is crazy. And she said, because there's a stadium, when there is any performance, you can't get home. And so it's definitely hard on people who live in this community. So as I said, I was walking in my own insight. So I think it was like $800 you need to give down. So I gave my $800. But my heart was telling me, no, don't take back the money. So I gave her, I said, no, no, I want to take it back. So I took up the phone and I called the lady and I said, hey, I want to take back my money. I no longer want to live there. Because something inside of me is telling me this wasn't for me. So the house that I end up buying, I saw that house. But by the time she's supposed to bring me there, the house was gone. Then I saw another house in the same community that I wanted. And I would do anything to get the house. The lady said, you need more money. So I called my brother in England. I said, hey, you got any money you can give me? No, that's not what God had in store for me. 2 days later, the lady called me and said, remember the house that you were looking at? It went in foreclosure. It went in foreclosure, and the person, it fell through. They couldn't afford it. And so you can get the house. And so when I went, and as soon as I stepped on this door, I didn't even look, guys. The house had 3 bathrooms. It was a townhouse. I didn't know the house had a third bathroom until 6 months after living in the home, guys. Guys, 6 months after living in the home, I found out there was a third bathroom downstairs. I went into the house and I said, I want this house. I didn't even look in the rooms. I didn't look in the kitchen. I didn't look anywhere. I said, I want this house. And I don't think it was me who's really speaking. Honestly, I don't know where I got my insight from. But I told the lady I wanted, and she said, guess what? They accepted it. And so you're going to get the house. No, I got the house. The house need a little repair. And I remember a family member of mine says, who has been here a long time, distant family member. They're like, oh, is that a house? What is that? That is not even a house. The way it looks and the way, but somehow God told me that house was my house. It wasn't in perfect condition. The kitchen was raggedy. The windows were leaking here, and I didn't even know that. Nobody told me. My first time, first of all, this apartment I'm living in, why would I be looking at a house? I don't know. But I guess that's what God set me up for. So I was just going with the process, right? When I got into the house, my adopted mom, she said to me, no, once I close on the house, if I'm pregnant, no, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not. So once I got the house, I shared the story I told a lady when I was about to close, an African lady that works at my job. And remember, the dream says, shh. Remember that dream? Where the lady told me, shh, don't say anything to anybody. So I was in the hallway at my job, and I said to the African lady, I said, hey, I'm about to buy a house. And I said, I'm about to close. And she said, shh. Just the same she, guys. I swear, the same she I got in the dream. She said, shh. Don't say anything to anybody. She said, finish. She said, finish. But is that the same house today? No, it's not the same house today. It's not the same house, a different house. She said, don't say anything to anybody. Just like the dream that I got, the lady told me when I got the title in my dream. Shh. And I was like, why? She said, you hear what I said? Finish what you're doing, and then you share the news. Finish what you're doing, and then you share the news. She said, am I the only person you tell? I said, yeah. She said, okay. Well, make me be the last person you tell. Finish what you're doing, then you share the news. And so I went to closing and I finished. And then I posted it on Facebook. Posted it on Facebook that I bought a house. I didn't post the house that I bought because honestly, I wanted it, I got it, but and for me to close on the house, they needed like probably $6,000. Where was I going to get that from? I didn't have that. But guess what? The same promise that God promised me, I had a first-time home buyer program that paid the $6,000. So I only paid to get in that house. I paid like $1,800 to get in that house. That's what I would pay if I'm renting an apartment. Okay? And it's so crazy, guys. This is why I'm telling you to trust God. Trust God. Trust God. Trust Bad. You hear me? Trust God. If God promised you something, He's going to see it through from the beginning to the end. And so when I told my friends, they said, how did you buy a house? Like, how did you do it? Did you have so much money? And I was like, no. So because I learned that process, I helped several other persons to buy a house after that. I didn't just keep it to myself. I guess God was using me to open ways for other people, right? He was just using me as a vessel. And so I ended up buying the house. And I remember, even though I didn't share it with my adopted mom, she came and she says, the first thing you have to do, you got to change the toilets in the house. I said, I ain't got no money to change the toilets. She said, well, you got to change the toilets. I said, well, I ain't got no money to change the toilets. The toilets look brand new to me. This is not listening again. Within a month, my water bill came to $3,000. No, you just imagine how furious I am. And so when I called the water company to come out, they said the toilets are leaking. So guys, I wasn't able to buy a toilet, but I ended up buying 3 toilets. So that's how I found out about the 3rd toilet. I bought 3 toilets, right? And my same, because she's in the military, she came and she changed the toilets for me in that house. That was my first change. Then she said, you got to change the windows. And you know what? At that point, I started to listen. So I ended up changing the windows on the house. I financed it and I changed them. And that house became one of my biggest blessings, guys. Even though in the site, as I said, the family member said, and then a lot of people may have looked at that house as what that is. As I tell you, sometimes the package that God has for you doesn't come in a beautiful gift wrap package. It's not a Lamborghini, but it's avenues to get to what you want, right? It is a way that God has in store for to give you the perfect gift. He wanted to see how you are going to accept the unbroken thing to give you the perfect thing that you wanted. He wanted to give you something to see, they say gratefulness goes a long way. If you're grateful for the small things, God make room for the big things. And a lot of us are not grateful for the small blessing that God has put in our life. You might be on YouTube and you're making $20 and it's not enough. And if it's not enough and you're not grateful for the $20 you make on YouTube, how are you going to be grateful for the $10,000 when it comes? You can't just start worshiping God and telling God thank you when $10,000 come. You got to start thanking Him from the $5 and the 10 cents and the 20 cents so that God can start making room for you for increase of blessing. The way you handle the small blessing, it makes room for the big ones. It makes room for the big ones. How are you accepting small blessing? How are you accepting the small things that God has bring before you? He probably makes somebody give you a shirt and the shirt might have a stain on it. You'll be like, oh, who them I get a shirt into? Me no want that shirt there. And all to find out, you take the shirt and you put in a donation, and only to find out 10 weeks later that the shirt valued $4,000 you could take to the dry cleaner, clean it, and you would have gotten $4,000 from it. Start accepting small blessing. So even though bad things were taught about that home became one of my biggest blessing. I bought that home for $90,000. And I sold that home for almost $300,000 in less than 5 years. So let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. Sometimes God gives you blessings in an improper package. And it's how you nurture that blessing. You will have to nurture the blessing that God gave you. Nurture it. Nurture it, nurture it, nurture it so that God can bless you, How many of you might ask God to give you a meal on your table tonight because you don't have anything to eat? And you may went outside and on the road somebody gave you some crackers. And you say, boy, I asked God for rice and chicken and vegetables. And Him not bring it. God has not provided for me. And I'm serving him and he's not providing for me. But you overlook the crackers you got, that graham crackers you get when you were passing and they had it on the table and you picked that graham crackers up. You forgot that graham crackers. You forgot that God did provide for you. He just did not provide the meal that you wanted. Start applying gratefulness. Start applying, Marco, I'm not your wifey. Start applying gratefulness for the small things so that God can have room to bless you with the bigger things. So that God can start blessing you. I don't know who I'm talking to today. You may be ungrateful for something that God gave you. You may want a car and the car you get is not off the lot. It doesn't have a sticker and it doesn't peel the plastic off. So you are not grateful with the car that you got. It's reliable. It's taking you where you're going, but you're not grateful for that. And the reason why you are not grateful for that is because he did not give you that Benz. He did not give you that BMW. And that's what you wanted. He gave you reliable transportation. Start being grateful. Start sharing with others, even the little things, because God might use you as an instrument to bless somebody else who you may not know. You may be able to bless somebody who you have never spoken to, but you have blessed them because God has used you as an instrument. Because God is not going to come from God is not going to come from heaven to hurt, to come give you a plate of food. It is us who is his instrument he's going to use to bless you. So I'm just leaving that with you today. I'm going to share the story another time on a video just to encourage somebody. And yes, talk to me. I'm interested of hearing the people like you, because a boy like me who doesn't have anything needed to hear advice of person. And I'm grateful for this. Thank you so much. I'm happy that I'm able to touch somebody. But even though if you don't have anything, start practice the art of giving. You may not have anything. You may not have food. You may not have clothes. But if you could give somebody who is less in need of you than what you have, you're becoming an instrument so God can use you, and God can open up avenue to bless you. He can open up a generation of blessing for many people, many races, many culture. He can use you as an instrument to bless others because of how you were able to give from the little you have. God is able to bless you. I'm not saying that to take everything you have and give away. Don't do that. I don't recommend that. But share from the little minute stuff that you have. Share with somebody. I'm not saying it has to be your brother. I'm not saying it has to be your sister. I'm not saying it has to be your cousin. I'm not saying, give to somebody in need. Now just go out there and give, because God, if I give, you're going to bless me back. You might be here. I'm this person. I always use this saying, I don't like when people beg. If you beg me, you will not get. But I'll be here right now, and I hear a voice say, hey, give this person this. Why? Give this person this. Why? And you know what? I just give it to them. You may not hear from me in 20 years. I said, whatever reason God wanted to use me as an instrument to give that person, give it to them. I'm giving to them. So please practice the heart of giving so you can get the heart of receiving at the same time. Be grateful for the small things that you have, so that when God has the good and the great things, because God will not withhold anything that's good from those who serve him. So when God has that blessing, you know how to handle that blessing. When you stop worrying about what people think about you, what you have, the life you live, the same people that might look at you a certain way, living in a certain lifestyle, are the same people who are going to come and praise you. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about what people do. Don't worry about what people have, but be grateful for what God gave you. For what God, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. Share it with a friend. Share it with somebody you meet along the way. Share something with somebody, some way, so that God, and I tell you, yesterday I heard this and I was like, God, you are speaking to me. You are speaking to me, because I felt I was given, but I was given in the wrong way. I was given and I was given in the wrong way. I was given, but I was given those people that I know, and because they're asking, I'm giving them. No. No. You're not working as an instrument for God. You're working as an instrument for yourself. You're giving them because you want to give them. You're giving them because you want to hear, oh my God, my cousin or my auntie give me this and they're so nice. And oh, my friend, and she got this and she, that's what you're giving them for. But there are people who you walk by every day who may need something that you don't know. And you may look at them. They might have a nice house, a nice car. And you say, oh, they have it. I ain't got to give them. They're okay. But if the voice should give them, you got to give them. If Holy Spirit is guiding you, hey, I want you to go give Jim this. Go give Jim. Coming to your channel, a very biggest blessing to me in my spirit. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave this last story with you. I did surgery a few years ago, and I was working as a server. I was out of work for a month. And because my faith and my trust in God, I went to work, and I was there on the computer typing up my order. Just typing up my order like this. And somebody popped me on the shoulder. I was like, hi, what's up? And I turned around, I saw this lady. She was just laughing. Hi, how are you? I said, I'm fine. Is everything okay? Can I get you something? She said, no. She said, God said to give you this. I promise you. You can ask anybody at my job who know me. She came to me and she said, God said to give you this. And she squeezed my hand like this. Don't open it. And I said, okay. And I hold it in my hand like this. And so I turned around to that same African lady. I was like, who's that? She said, oh, she's my regular. She's good people. I was like, God said to give me this. Who that is? So I put my order in and I open it. It's $500. I had $700 for my rent. My rent was $1,200. I was trying to work the day. I had to pick up a night shift. I pick up the next day because I wanted to pay my rent. I just came back from having surgery. The lady came and gave me $500 in my hand. Don't know this lady. Never spoken to this lady. Never said hi to this lady. I probably seen her in the restaurant because I know she's Miss Omi regular. I don't know this lady. How this lady said God tell her she would give me $500? From where? How? So if you don't trust God, trust him today. If you don't trust him today. Trust him today. Trust him today. Don't ask me why. But I know she has some relationship with God. That lady has some relationship with God. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Normally, not because she gave me the $500, meaning I'm going to see her when she comes in and be like, hey, what's up? Can you give me $500 more? I just always say hi to her. How are you? I say, how's the family? She said, okay. How are you doing? She says, fine. And I keep it moving. Because it's not like I knew the lady. Never spoken to her. And I've never had said anything to her. She said God told her to get $500 and to give to somebody. He's going to make her give to somebody. And she gave it to me and she rolled it in my hand like this and said, God said to give you this. Touch me. Touch me. I had $700 for my rent. I didn't know where the rest was coming from. So, may God use you to bless somebody. If you're walking on the street and you hear God, you hear a voice say, stop and give that person something. Stop and give them. Stop and give them. So if you don't believe in God today, I hope this is a testimony for you. I have so many testimonies I could share. I hope this is a testimony for you to start believing today. Become a believer. Start trusting him, not just because of what he can do for you, but trusting him for yourself, having a relationship with him for yourself. Because in times, God are going to put people, place, and things in front of you to bless you. I told you my daughter is 8. She started reading at 8. It's on her own time, but she started reading. Start trusting God. Start putting your full reliance on him and see how he's going to work for you. Stop taking the reliance from yourself. Stop relying on what you think you can do. If you're on YouTube and God said to do something on YouTube, do it. As long as it's not coming from your own thoughts and what you want to do. As long as it's not coming from what makes you feel good and what gives you praise and glory. If you get that, do it. It's a reason. God is putting you there for a reason to deliver. There's somebody out there who's gonna pick the camera up and watch you, and if he can't use you, he gonna skip over and go to somebody else. Trust and believe me, if God sends you to go do something and you don't go, like Jonah, he's gonna use somebody else to go do it. Because whatever work he has to get done, he's gonna get it done. Not because you stop, meaning his work stopped. Not because you refuse to do what he asks you to do, meaning it's not going to get done. So start asking God to use you as a vessel to share. I don't know why I'm sharing this story today. I'm on here making breakfast. I'm supposed to get ready to go with my kids. But God wanted me to share the story with you guys today. Probably to give an encouragement to somebody. Somebody probably be asking God for something and think he's not answering. And this is just probably to bring encouragement for them. I don't know. But I decided to share the story this morning. I know it can't be because I want to share it. But whoever is talking to him, he hears you. He hears you. All right? So I love you guys. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to prepare myself because I have to get on the road shortly. I love you so much. Take care. Stay blessed. And if you haven't liked or subscribed to my channel, welcome. Trust God. Believe in God. Wait on God. God timing is God timing. Whatever God has in store for you, it's going to get done. Whatever fulfillment he has up for you, it's going to get done. But you got to listen. You're not listening. You're not listening. So if you're not listening, he's not going to be able to use you. If you're hard-headed, he's going to wait on you because he loves you. He loves you. So he's going to wait on you. Because his work that he has for you to do, you're going to have to do it. He's not going to stop. You're going to feel a fire that you have to do it. He's not going to stop. He's not going to flinch. He probably gets somebody else to take out whatever task he wants to do right now. But if you refuse to do God's will, then you cut your life short. So listen to them. Stay blessed. Bless somebody. Love somebody. Spread some good news. Spread some good words. Share. Hear. Love. I love you. Bye, everybody.